Weekend is here, everybody. And listen, that's always worthy of celebrating. But to be quite honest, it makes me a little anxious because where the actual hell is October going? Okay. Thank y'all for joining me Friday, October 24th. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you will always get notified whenever I'm live over here on Hurrdat's pages, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, let's get started today. We're going to talk about an interesting development in the Wendy and Eddie lawsuit situation, and then we're going to talk about some beloved Bravo Lebs who had a very exciting reunion this week. I'll tell you all about it. Also, yeah, I want to know, how is your week going? What's exciting you this week? What was something good that happened to you this week? Tell me all about it. I would love to hear. All right, up first, we're going to talk about Wendy and Eddie, okay? So, obviously, Wendy and Eddie are not having the best of times right now. We know that they were arrested for the insurance fraud. And, I'd said before in a previous live that I feel like whenever there's situations like this where a celebrity or someone in the public eye has a very, dramatic and shocking, like legal situation, it's like the press is constantly releasing updates. And I felt like, after Wendy and Eddie's arrest, there weren't any necessarily big updates for several days. But we just got one, and it is interesting. And it is basically, now, always, I need to put this, disclaimer out there that I went to the Shane Simpson School of Law. So don't hold anything that I'm saying regarding legal jargon to be fact, okay? But it seems that Eddie has requested a separate trial from her husband, Eddie, okay? Now, I guess there is a world where if people did something together, do they get tried like literally at the trial together? Like, I know when Teresa and Joe had their issues, obviously they were sentenced separately because their sentences were stacked and all that stuff. So I don't know how that works, but it seems the impression, that people are getting from this is either that he's going to like take a lot of the blame on for something, or this is the beginning of her being like, I had nothing to do with this. So, and again, I know there's like a lot of strategy and stuff involved when it comes to, legal situations like, like people taking plea deals in certain situations solely because if they don't, it could result in, even more time, and like even people that claim innocence. And, so a strategy is to take the plead guilty, and, yes, you might have to pull time, but it's way less than the alternative. So perhaps this is a strategy move from that their team has, got them to do. I have no clue. Again, Shane Simpson School of Law. We didn't even have a class on this stuff. But very, very interesting. And I don't know, something about it makes me sad. The whole thing makes me sad from the beginning because like I said, I just don't think any of us Bravo viewers saw this one coming. But yeah, and she has accused the police, since now it is she's requesting a separate trial, and therefore she's also saying it should be separate because it was an illegal arrest for me in general. Like she's saying that in the first place. So again, going to be very, very interesting. I guess when this starts going to court is whenever we'll, start seeing what their sides of the story are. Again, I don't know. We didn't talk about that at the Shane Simpson School of Law either, but we'll figure it out. But let me know, what do y'all think what does that mean? If there are any lawyers who are on their lunch break and watching this YouTube live today, drop in and let me know. What does that mean? What do you think Wendy is doing? And is this a strategy move, or is this a sign of something else? Also, something I'm going to send you into your weekend to celebrate was that Radio Andy, they've been celebrating their 10-year anniversary, for a little bit now. And they had a big celebration and party in New York last night on Thursday. And not going to lie, I probably would have snuck in if I were in town because it looked like a lot of fun. And, so all the Radio Andy people were there. And some of the people that popped up were some of our beloved RHONY OGs. Ramona was there. Luann was there. Of course, Dorinda was there. Carole was there. And yes, you heard that right. Luann and Carole, not only under the same roof, y'all, but they were like sitting together and hanging out. Like people got pictures of them and videos of them. And you know what? Thank God for that. Because there's been a lot of talk too lately, I think, about like how the shows are based on conflict resolution, and theirs is a long standing conflict, but also it's like it's one of those things too. It's like, what did we even dislike each other for? What were we mad at? And things that I think that they can get over. And also, they're both iconic housewives. And Carole's coming to BravoCon, so I'm like, y'all are iconic and strong in your own right. Linking up, I can't get enough of it. So I think it was awesome. Andy seemed really excited to see the ladies, and I'm just like, for the love of God, just put them back on a quick little vacation for 2 weeks, like once or twice a year, and make a little series out of it. Like, let's just stop playing games. Let's stop playing games. We know what everyone wants, you know? Oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah, it was good to see them. And also, oh, speaking of the Radio Andy event, I saw a tweet earlier. It seems, I guess they were doing like live broadcasting and stuff from the event as well. And Shannon Bedore was there along with Kiki Monique, who has a show on Radio Andy. And they were talking about just OC in general, it seemed. And Katie was a topic of discussion. And now, if I read this correctly, it seems that they were saying that, like, when Katie told Kiki that at lunch or dinner, whenever they met, that she's like, oh my gosh, Gretchen told me that Tamra roofied her or whatever. Apparently now it's being said that Kiki and Katie weren't the only ones at that lunch. As in, I think someone else on the cast this entire time has had the ability to vouch, and that Kiki is telling the truth. Like, yes, Katie did say that, or Katie didn't say that. I was there, but we never even knew that anyone else was there. And so I'm like, how is that so carefully tiptoed around this entire time? I'm both exhausted over the whole conversation and topic of it, and also simultaneously like, what do you mean? Tell me more. Who was there? And Shannon, who I said Shannon was at the event, Shannon seemed to be in the know that there was someone else present when that was said who could have vouched for it. But Shannon also wouldn't say who it was. Who was it? And why did no one talk about it? I'm hoping it comes out at the reunion. Maybe that's why they're kind of talking about it now. I don't know, but it's very, both like all parts, confusing, kind of annoying, and weird that this was talked about so much this season, and it was all literally she said, but there was now apparently someone there who was very much could have been a part of this story and this conversation and helped really provide clarity either way, and we didn't even know they were there. Who are you and what were you doing, and why haven't you announced that you were there before this? So that's where we're at, everybody. We're still talking about Naked Wasted 84 years later. It's like the Titanic meme. It's been 84 years. That's how I feel. All right. It's going to be a quick one today, everybody. I'm going to send you into your weekend. Go whoop it up. It's Friday. I was going to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm on the East Coast. It's not not quite 5 o'clock yet, but I won't tell anybody if you start now. Yeah, thank y'all so much for joining me. I'll be back here on Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here. So like I said, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll get notified every time that I'm live. We are just a few weeks away from BravoCon, y'all, so gear up. There's going to be lots of exciting, I think, announcements coming from the network and, the event in general. So lots to be excited about. I hope y'all have a lovely, lovely week. Thank you so much for hanging out.